You can follow us at John Kobylt Radio on social media, at John Kobylt Radio. And now you should be subscribing on YouTube because we have a YouTube channel and we're putting up videos quite often, longer segments. To subscribe, go to youtube.com/@John Kobylt Show, youtube.com/@John Kobylt Show. And we got a number of videos up there already, and there'll be more coming. And the rest of it is at John Kobylt Radio. Okay, Roger Bailey's going to come on with us after 2 o'clock. He's the attorney that we've had on a number of times, and Roger's representing thousands of Palisades residents, and he got a golden document that came in. There's not supposed to be a hearing today at 10 a.m., he wrote to us. I don't know. I don't want to know what the specific subject of the hearing, court hearing. So we will find out from Roger. But just to briefly give you the highlights, he got a hold from the state of California, the Park Wildfire Mitigation Plan for Topanga State Park. Because the Lachman Fire, which turned into the Palisades Fire a week later, is on Topanga State Park land. Yes, Gavin Newsom governed land. And on one page it says State Parks prefers to let Topanga State Park burn in a wildfire event. On another page is Topanga State Park should be left to burn within reasonable public safety limits. And the state determines what that reasonable limit is. So apparently those of you in the Palisades, it was reasonable to Gavin Newsom's administration to have the whole town burn. By the way, next segment, seems like Karen Bass made an appearance on CNN last night on Alex Michelson's show. The story is, and she lashed out at Spencer Pratt, who was on our show last week, for spreading misinformation and unspecified other people. I feel like I'm an unspecified other person. It's like being an unindicted co-conspirator. Yes, Spencer Pratt and others posting misinformation, and she thinks Pratt is deliberately inaccurate. She's such a scoundrel. Why don't you come in here, Karen, sit down, and we'll go through all the evidence. You can take it, I'm sure, right? And we'll go through line by line. We could sit here for hours and hours, and you could explain what the true story is, since you think everybody else is spreading misinformation, whatever that is. Would that be lies? Can't be lies. We all saw what happened. And now Roger Bailey's got this document which says, this all tracks. Topanga State Park should burn. It says it on page 15 and page 20. On page 33, this explains why that state parks troll chased away L.A. Fire Department. Avoidance areas where no heavy equipment, vehicle, and retardant are allowed are grouped together and shaded in red on the attached maps. And that's why when L.A. Fire Department took out bulldozers to work the land after the January 1st fire, well, they were chased away. Page 41, the neighborhoods of Castellamare and Pacific Highlands along the southern border of the park, they're at significant risk during a wildfire event. While wildfire poses a threat, suppression techniques, especially with heavy equipment, are the main concern and need to be avoided in these areas. Do you understand what that says? They're acknowledging that the Castellamare and Pacific Highland neighborhoods are at significant risk during a wildfire event. In other words, it might burn down. But when wildfire poses a threat, suppression techniques, especially with heavy equipment, are the main concern, because they didn't want, let's say, the milk vetch plant to be bulldozed. So even when your neighborhood's in fire danger, part of their policy is to be more concerned with what the bulldozers are going to do to the milk vetch plant. That's what that says. Needs to be avoided. And page 56 says, avoidance areas should be shared with incident command, but measures should be taken to keep the information confidential. In other words, the public in those neighborhoods should not know that when a fire happens, if they have a choice between protecting the neighborhoods and protecting the milk veg plant wins. And those of you in the neighborhoods of Castellamare and Pacific Highlands, you lose. And you lost. It's actually on page 56. So what happened was the plan. Now, I noticed walking around the Palisades a lot and talking to people that over time, people started saying it's like they let it burn. It's like that was the policy, to let it burn. And I noticed it started cropping up in articles. And the LA Times would scold and wag its finger. It's like, well, these are unfounded, untrue claims and suspicions. It's like, well, no, they're not. Actually, it's in black and white. I have the report in front of me. I don't know how else to interpret this. When the neighborhoods are at significant risk during a wildfire, but suppression techniques with heavy equipment are the main concern. Let it burn. That was the state's plan.